Good morning, guys. A little bit later than usual here. Might not even be morning for some of you guys out there, especially in the UK. So this is our Bitcoin morning in inverted commas update. So we're gonna go straight over to the charts. Yeah, so as you can see, we've got this this resistance at 9,200, which is potentially going to be a bit of a problem for Bitcoin. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that this is clearly looking bearish. We've got rid of our falling wedge because that clearly wasn't what was going on price wise, but we have got this descending channel. So yeah, so we have got, and I think this definitely does work better. You can see this trend line definitely did catch it, catch this move down here. So yeah, and obviously the highs are looking pretty efficacious also. But yeah, so what are we looking at the moment? We're basically looking at we've got this support level here around the 9,000. If we take out that support level here, then I think we will take out this level here, and we will then come down to 8,600. Even if it's like on a wick basis like this, and then we get supported by our channel, and then we play out this zone for a bit, and then either move back up or break down and reverse like the proper macro trend to the fully to the downside, or we can consolidate here, get back above 9,200, consolidate there, get back above 9,500, and then things will start to look really good. Obviously you can see breaking above 9,500. I mean, depending where it came in, would clearly be getting us out of this descending channel. So, and descending channels are often bullish continuation patterns. So it could very easily be a bullish continuation pattern. So that's what I'm kind of looking at pattern wise now at the moment. Obviously we've got this ascending triangle that I'm not sure that I can really keep drawing on much longer. So we'll give it a few more days, and if we don't, and if we don't really see like a better, well, yeah, just a better price. If we can draw a better trend line from it, we will. If we kind of get supported here, we could maybe adjust it again. But then I'm kind of just adjusting a trend line really, as opposed to looking at it as necessarily an ascending triangle. Yeah, because obviously it's not the greatest level really can pick as a horizontal top. We've obviously got this horizontal resistance here drawn in anyway. But yeah, we'll play that by ear over the next couple of days. For our Stokes are coming up pretty strongly, so that could give us an impetus to the upside. But obviously if we don't move to the upside, those are going to run out of steam and start to turn down, and once they do that, that will definitely be pressure onto the downside. And unless we've made a good move above this 9,200, so when those 4-hour Stokes reset, we get supported around the 9,200 zone, unless that happens, I think we'll be looking at a break of this 9,000 level based on the 4-hour Stokes turning down, and then obviously coming down to this 8,600 area. So that's what I'm kind of looking at on the Stokes. And 12-hour Stokes, I mean, 12-hour Stokes could turn back up and save us also. So these obviously, I always say 12-hour Stokes are about my favourites. So these could get us, these could turn back round, and yeah, give us some momentum to the upside. To yeah, potentially get us above the 9,200. But realistically speaking, we've got to get above 9,500. To sort of try and break out this channel, and then obviously if we do that, then get back above this high here to then form a higher high, or even just to really just get back to the top of here around 9,800, just to get back above this resistance here. So once markets start to trend, they will be a lot easier to trade. So famous last words there, but yeah, I mean, we haven't really had a trend obviously going on. We've been in this sort of box between 10,000 and 8,600, so we've not really had a trend. So obviously trading has been a bit more difficult, but obviously if we do break down from here, it will be easier to trade. the downwards trend, or similarly, if we break up, it will be easier to trade the bullish trend. I can notice we've got a nice 12-hour 9 here, which we're now trading above. So I would fancy this to give us a push over 9,200, and then it's a case of, do we fail at this really important sort of 9,400, 9,000 resistance, which on the balance of things, I would probably have to say we would. But that's taken all indicators and all time frames into account. But we'll see what happens when we get there. It is the weekly Stokes that are obviously playing on my mind when it comes to the overall next big move, big direction that I am kind of looking for. And also you can clearly see we got a nice weekly 9 at the high, so that is very indicative of the top of this move, and then a move down. And obviously we can get a nice move down to around 7,000, and as long as we can reverse there, and obviously that's an if we can reverse there, then it won't be too bad for the macro. And then obviously this trend line will be coming in a lot lower, and then we'll be off to the races, I believe. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at there. Daily Stokes, we'll just have a quick look at Daily Stokes whilst we're on here. Daily Stokes getting pretty beat up here. So obviously that's pretty negative. That could give us some momentum to the downside. But eventually, eventually they'll have to turn up again. Can't say going down forever. So we'll have to see at what point and where the price action is when it starts to do that. But we could see the 4-hour feed through to the, obviously feeding through to the 12-hour feed through to the daily. But then we get smacked in the face when we get to the weekly. So yeah, something we've got to take care of there. Let me just see our TD count on the daily. Yeah, we've got a 6 there, and the 2-day a 4 there. So I mean, we could end up later on this week, if we still hang around these areas. We could end up with a TD 9 on the daily, but we would have to get below the close of this candle, so we'd have to be closing below 9,000. So I mean, realistically, if we do that, I'll be expecting a daily TD 9 around this 8,600 area. But that could offer up a really good bounce trade, a really good risk reward trade, really, because if we do turn around from there, I mean, we could target the top, which is around 9,800, even 10,000 area. So we'll just have to see how that develops. We may not get that though. We may not get the TD9, because the TD9 on the 12-hour could get us moving. So yeah, I mean, the only thing is, obviously, we are in a strong downtrend, and it's obviously harder for these TDs to turn the price action around when obviously the trend is so strong. But they still can. So and this is a 12-hour one, so it's not a small time frame one. So yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking at there. So quick round up there basically. So if we can get back above 9,200, I think we'll be looking good. Probably even squeeze up to around 9,400, and then those 4-hour Stokes will probably have to call us off to consolidate in the zone. If we don't 4-hour Stokes turn down before we can get above 9,200, then I think that will give us a push below this 9,000, and then we will come down to 9,600 and potentially the bottom of this channel as well, this trend line we've got going on here. So that's what I'm watching, guys. So yeah, altcoin video coming out later today. I've just got to basically, I've got all the ones I'm looking at. I've just sort of got to put them in some order for you guys, which are my favourites. And it sounds silly, doesn't it, which are my favourites, but my favourites are basically the ones I think have got the most potential. But yeah, so which I think have got the most potential, I'll reword it rather than pretend that I've got favourites like we're getting, like, yeah, anyway, like spammers have favourites that they then come and like tell everyone about to try and pump it. But anyway, so yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Remember, not a financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, and I will speak to you soon.